morning and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I'm Margie Curry, your host, and today's session is with certified yoga instructor Becca Impello. Becca has been practicing and teaching yoga for more than 20 years. Folks, we want to remind you that AARP is empowering people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization with more than 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate on their behalf, all of them, without regard to politics. AARP is committed to offering opportunities for people to stay engaged from their home. The Mindful Movement series provides an opportunity for you to keep moving in the safety of your home. Becca.
Good morning, Margie. How you
Good
doing on this
morning.
morning?
I'm doing great this morning, Becca.
It's a little chilly outside
A
here in
little chilly.
Alabama.
It's a little chilly here in Alabama. Yeah, we have to dress a little warmly this morning.
Yeah, and it's pretty chilly across a lot of the country too. And I know we may have viewers from all over, so it's a cold and chilly day. And that's kind of what I'm going to do with our practice today. Is we're going to do things
Okay.
to warm us up.
Great.
Yeah,
Sounds great. Sounds great.
yeah.
Well, folks, we want to remind you that before you begin any exercise routine, that you should consult with your physician to be sure it's safe to participate. And we want to ask you today to please check out our survey that we will have immediately after Becca gets finished. So don't forget to check us out on our survey. All right, Becca, let's get warmed up.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So as Margie said, you always want to take any movement, any exercise with care and make sure that it's safe for you to do these movements and these exercises. And within the practice, you're always going to have choices, right? The ultimate choice is you could choose to do or not do something that I suggest. And then you could also choose to do your motions bigger or smaller, faster or slower, resting at any point that you feel like you want to or need to. So keep this really well tuned to what you're needing today and what makes sense for you. But like I said, we're going to attempt to get ourselves warmed up a little bit. So on these cold winter days, we want to get all of our joints moving, get the joint fluid moving, get the blood flowing. And we can also use our breathing and sort of our energy flow to generate a little bit of warmth and energy in the body as well. So we're going to start with that, with some breathing that will help us to build up a little bit of energy and warmth in the body. So we're going to use a chair today. We're going to sit or we're going to stand, and we're going to use the chair some when we're standing. So that's all you really need today for your practice. So let's sit up nice and tall, maybe towards the front of your chair with your feet on the ground. Okay. And we're going to just take a few deep breaths before we start our warming breath. All right. So just take a nice full breath in, maybe let it out the mouth. And do that again. Let it out. One more time. Nice big breath in. And let it out. All right, now the movement we're going to do with this breath, you have some choice. You could take your hands in front of your body and do this sort of reach and pull back in. Open and close the hands. You could take your movement higher. You could take those arms up overhead and pull them back down if you prefer. So if your shoulders like out in front, better, great. If you're good with reaching overhead, great. Or you could even do simply the hands in your lap if your shoulders don't want to do either one of those movements. All right. So what we're going to do is a little bit of vigorous breathing. You can stop at any time. You don't have to wait for me to finish the round. If you start to feel like, oh, okay, I've had enough of that, you just stop, take one of those deep breaths in, go back to your regular breathing for me, okay? But we're going to try to do 10 of these breaths. We call this the bellows breath. A bellows is something that we would use to pump air into like a furnace or a fire to give it more heat, okay? So that's essentially what we're doing with our body, okay? So you choose those hands or arm positions that you want to do, and let's do 10 of these bellows breaths. It's going to be a big breath in, just like a bellows, okay? You can go in and out through the nose or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's give it a try. Here we go. 3 more. Big breath in. And slowly let it out that time. Let your arms drop to your lap. Just take a breath in and out. You may not have felt much from that first round, but after you get the hang of it, I bet you'll start to feel a little bit of energy building. Okay, let's do another round of 10. Here we go. Last one. Breathe breath in. Hold it. Let it out. Let those arms drop down. See what you notice. Breathe fully in and out a little slower. Great. We're going to do it one more time. 10 bellows breaths. Here we go. Last one. Big breath in. And let it out. All right, hopefully that started to warm you up. It's normal for there to be just a little sort of light feeling in your head. It's okay, it will pass. You can just put your head a little lower or take a slower breath if you feel like that, if you need to, all right? All right, now let's work into those joints. Let's roll the shoulders. We're going to get these shoulder joints warmed up. We're going to then move all the way through the spine and then get the legs and all the way to the feet warmed up. All right, 3 more shoulder rolls. Just rolling those shoulders up, back, and down. Good, and then turn the head side to side. Good. Let's give that head a roll. Turn it to one side, one shoulder down towards the chest, across the front, over to the other side, up over the top. Take another circle. And then go the other way. Circle, round. All right, head back to center. Bring those hands to the heart. Sit tall. Let's warm up that upper back. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Lift the chest. Push forward, round the upper back. Let's do a nice big breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Push it out through the mouth. Maybe make a ha sound. You can try and pull your belly and your ribs in a little bit as you do that push. 2 more. One more. Good. Bring those arms back. Drop them down to your sides. Give the wrists a few circles as well. Get those joints loosened up there in the wrist. Go the other way. All right, now let's sweep those arms out and up. Exhale and back down to the sides. Now the angle of your arms could change, right? So you could bring the arms a little more forward if you want. If that's hard to get those arms all the way overhead, just go as far as you can go. But start to imagine that you're having to pull and push those arms through like warm water. Okay, so that there's some resistance there. You're tightening up those muscles, getting a little more blood flow to them. Again, helping things to warm up. 3 more of these push and pull. Inhale up, exhale down. One more. Good. All right. Let those arms be at your sides. Shake them out a little bit. Let's warm up the legs a bit. You can hold on to your chair if you want a little more support. One leg, bend and straighten at that knee. Get the knee joint loosened up, and then we'll move down to the foot and ankle. We'll do the hip joint when we get up to standing. All right, so again, push and pull as if you're moving that leg through, something that adds resistance. So you're moving it through foam. You're moving it through water. Imagine that you've got a rubber band tied to your ankle and you got to pull it back and forth. Keep that leg forward the next time and point and flex at that foot. You may notice I've got my socks on today, so I keep my toes warm. Circle that ankle a few times. Go the other way. And then bring that leg down and just pause for a moment and notice how that leg that you just were working maybe feels a little bit warmer or a little tingly compared to the leg that was being still. See if you can notice the effect that your movement has had on your body and on your sensation. All right. And let's go to that other side. Sit tall, maybe hold on to the chair, bend and straighten at that knee. Get that pushing and pulling action. Imagine your resistance. And maybe you're imagining a rubber band that you're pulling. Maybe you're imagining that you're kicking that leg through some, some thick substance, through some resistance, through that cold air even. All right, couple more times. Notice how that knee joint is doing. Good. And then hold that leg forward and point and flex. Give it a few circles. And go the other way. Good. And then relax again. Notice how that leg that you were just using maybe feels a little more alive, a little bigger, a little warmer after doing that. All right, we're going to switch to standing. You'll be able to use your chair for some support the whole time if you need it, for balance or just something to hold on to. You can also sit down and take a rest anytime you want to. Now, for this first one, you may want your chair in front of you if you're going to want to hold on, because we're going to take those legs out wide. Okay. Now, I'm going to move my chair off to the side. I can still hold on to it there, and that just keeps it from blocking your view. But if you want to keep it in front, please feel free to keep it in front. You have the option to keep a hand or both hands touching the chair, or to do the arm motions. All right. So let's just start by getting our stance, turning the toes a little bit out and taking it into a little bit of a squat. And in yoga, we call this the yoga goddess. Okay. This is the yoga goddess squat. It's legs a little bit open. Use those glutes. And if you want to take the arms into position, you can take one or both arms up with those elbows bent and the palms facing forward. All right. Now we're going to take it into a little bit lower of a sit. Squeeze those elbows in towards the rib cage. And then inhale, straighten the knees. Reach those arms out and overhead as much as you want to. And then exhale, we're going to sit back down. Now remember, we're got a little more movement happening today because I want us to be warm. I want our muscles pumping blood through the body so we warm up. So let's inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, sit down. Remember, maybe holding on to that chair. I want a good squeeze in those glutes as you come up. Right? Maybe 5 more. Big breath in. Two more. Good. Now let's hold the squat. Hold the arms in position if you've got them there. Sit down into that squat. Push those knees out. Now, how low do you go? You have to decide, right? You can stay high, just a little bit of a squat. You can take it low if you want to do a little more work, okay? Try to lift up, keep through that front body nice and tall. One more breath. And then straighten those knees, drop the arms down. All right, turn those feet a little more to face forward. All right, you still could have your chair in front if you want to. All right, we're going to see if we can take one arm up and then take a little side stretch, reaching up and over and then bringing it back down. No squat this time. Reach up and over, pull it back and down. Reach and pull. 3 more. Reach and pull. And then this last one, let's stay a bit. So how far, you decide. Try to reach through that waistline, rib cage, anchor down into that leg, and then bring it back up. Pause a moment. Just notice that side of the body that you were just stretching. Notice how it feels compared to the other side. All right, then let's do the other direction. So bring that other arm up. You could be holding onto your chair with the other hand, or that hand could be down on your thigh. Reach and pull. Let's try an inhale over the top. Exhale back to center. Good. Keep breathing. Strong legs. Push them into the floor. Here's our last 3, 2, and 1. Hold that stretch. Breathe into it. And then bring it back to center. Drop that arm down. Again, just notice how your body feels on that side. And then let's walk the feet together. All right, now, if you want to hold on to the chair, you're going to stand with the chair in front of you, and your feet more like a hip's distance apart. All right, and we're coming up onto the tippy toes, and then slowly dropping back down onto the heels. All right, come up and down. Now, if you want, one or both arm could lift as you come up onto those tippy toes and lower as you come back onto the heels. Couple more. Try to keep it slow. Control it as best you can, but it's normal for you to sort of wobble or lose your balance a little bit with this one. 2 more. Good. All right. Now, keep the hands down. Maybe hold your chair if you want. Lift up onto both toes, both sides, but then drop one heel while you keep the other one up. So you're going to have one knee that's straight and one knee that's bent, and then you'll come up with both on tippy toes and drop the other heel, and then up onto both and drop. So now that we got that rhythm, we can speed it up a little bit. So it's a little bit of like a prance. Up onto both tippy toes, drop one. Up onto both, drop the other. Now, if you want to do a little more movement with this and you feel like you can let go of your chair, start to do a pull back with one elbow as that knee bends, and then the other. So we get a little sort of dance almost going. It doesn't have to be big elbows. It could be shoulders. Or it could be bigger. It could be arms, almost like you're doing a backstroke. Good. Let's just do a couple more. Hopefully those calf muscles, those ankles, those legs are getting nice and warm. All right. Both hands onto the top of your chair. Or this could be a wall. So feel free to do this at a wall or another sturdy piece of furniture. Let's press the hips back and start to lengthen out, flatten out the back. Take a couple breaths here. Good. Now let's take the left foot forward. So we're going to be in a lunge of sorts, right? So again, you always have the choice to keep both hands or at least one hand on the chair. And at times you'll have the option to take the hands off if you want to. All right. So let's start with firming up our legs. Get this back leg nice and long. Reach it through the heel. Squeeze that back bum so that glute is active. Push into the front foot. The knee is bent. And then see how it feels to bring one or both arms up. They could be a wide V shape or they could be narrow, close to the head. Good. Breathe here. Good. Now let's just see if we can straighten that front knee. You can let your arms drop. Straighten that front knee. All right. And then we're going to go into a little bit of movement with this one. Bend the knee, straighten the knee. All right. So that's one part of the movement. Feel free to add on the arms if you want to. All right. All right. So with the straight knee, arms come up. Bent knee, arms pull down. Straight knee, reach up. And bent knee, pull down. Reach and pull. Maybe one arm is doing it while the other keeps a hold. Last two. Last one. All right, now straighten that front knee and bring the hands down to the chair or your wall or whatever you're touching and fold forward. And you're just coming forward until you feel some stretch on the hamstring, on the back of the leg. Good, now breathe here. Check in. All right, and then let's transition to both legs back, both feet back, hips back over the feet roughly. Stretch it out. And then let's step the right foot forward. Okay, so we're doing this on the other side. So let's start with getting our legs strong. Push into that back heel. Tighten that back glute. Push into the bent front knee. Down right into the ground. Good. And then see if you can take one arm or both arms up. Remember, those arms could be wide. They could even drop down to bent elbows if that's better on your shoulders or your neck. All right, hands down for a moment. Let's just practice our movement for the legs first. Straighten the knee, bend the knee. Straighten the knee and bend the knee. The front knee is moving. The back leg is staying pretty anchored. Keep that back glute active. Now, if you want to, add the arms. Reach up. When you straighten the knee, pull down, bend the knee. Reach up, pull down, reach up, pull down. Couple more. Might be one arm. Last two. Last one. Now hold that front knee straight. Bring the hands down and fold forward. You want to keep that spine pretty straight as you lean into this. Just see what you feel in terms of a stretch on the back of that forward leg. All right, and then one more time, both legs gonna go back. Stretch back through those hips. Good, and then walk it in. All right, it's time to sit back down in our chair. So let's get back into our seat. We'll start to slow it down. Hopefully you got, a little bit of warmth built up in your body. Maybe you felt yourself breathing a little heavier, felt your heart rate, going a little faster. Those are all, healthy things if you're okay with that kind of exercise. So just see what you notice happening in your body as you sit down, as you start to slow down, become a little more still. All those things will start to downshift. Your heart rate will slow down. Your breathing will slow down. You might start to feel yourself cooling off even. All right, a couple of more stretches for our body. Sit up nice and tall and let's twist. So we're going to take it to one side, bringing the hand across to the opposite knee in front to give you a little hold. Maybe the arm behind you grabs hold of the chair. Maybe it reaches back behind you over the top of the chair. Good. Now unwind it, bring that back to the front. Pause a moment. And sit tall and take it the other direction. Again, that hand can come across that front opposite knee. Arm behind can rest on the chair, high or low, or reach back into the space there. Good. And then unwind that twist, bring it back to the center. Let's stretch the hips a bit. We're going to cross one ankle to the opposite knee. That may not work for everybody. One thing you could try is straightening your low leg so that that knee is not quite so high. I can even cross it on my shin or my ankle if that works better, okay? Another option is to use something on the floor to put your leg on, a box, a set of yoga blocks, anything, a stool, an ottoman that might be a good height. And you just put that foot, ankle there, try to get some turn out of the knee. And then you got to decide, do you have room in your hip joint to lean into this? Or is it best to stay sitting upright? So we're looking for maybe some feeling of stretch or tightness or pull around the outer hip, the glute, maybe the back of the thigh. I just would prefer you not feel anything at your knee. Knee joint should be pretty quiet with this. If you do feel something at your knee, take one of those lower positions that I mentioned or skip it altogether. All right, we're going to come out of this one, uncross, and take it to the other side. Remember, you got all those choices about where you cross. Maybe cross it down low if the hip is a little tighter. Maybe use a stool or a box of some kind, or cross it right up to the knee. Sit tall and then explore whether there's a little lean forward there that feels okay. Good. 2 more breaths here. All right, and then uncross it. If you need to, get a little more supported in your chair. Maybe scoot back so that you can rest against the backrest. Tilt that head, ear towards the shoulder, slowly side to side. Just a little final stretch for the neck. Finish us out. We're still trying to just settle down. If you notice that temperature dropping, all that buildup that we did, is it starting to fall back? Next time that ear is over towards your right shoulder, I want you to stay there. And then let that left arm just drop gently down and reach it a little bit out. Now you can pulse that arm. Maybe bring it in, reach it out, bring it in. Or you can stay out there and hold the stretch. All right, now bring the hand back into your lap. Roll the head forward. Right to the center of the chest. Pick it up. All right, tilt the head over to the left. Then drop that opposite right arm out to the side. You can reach it a little more or a little less. You can maybe pulse it, bringing it in and reaching it out. Or holding. And then release that hand to your lap. Roll the head forward. And then pick the head up. Close the eyes, relax the face. Breathe in slowly. And then breathe out even more slowly if possible. Just take a few final breaths here, settling our nervous system. Practicing that full, deep, slow breath. So again, your inhale is slow and your exhale is even slower. Let's do 3 more of those. Inhale slow. Exhale slower. All right, right, now open your eyes if they're closed. Go ahead and lift those hands up to the heart. I like to end with a gesture of gratitude. You're thankful to your body for participating, thankful to all the opportunities that you have. And we're thankful for you, and we really appreciate you giving us a little feedback. We have a survey that we've put in the chat, and that's been coming across the screen. Really helps us out when you complete that survey, so we know how these programs are reaching you and what more you might like to see from AARP. All right, thanks as always for being with us. Give us some questions if you have them, and fill out that survey for us. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Becca. You got us all warm and tingling today. Thank you
Good.
so very much. We appreciate everyone for watching this morning. We would like for you to look at our survey today. And also we have something coming across the screen that you might see some other activities to do with AARP Alabama. And don't forget to join us on Tuesdays for Mindful Movement at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. Thank you and have a great day. And we'll see you the next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.